Hi, it's Mark and Grace back again, or Grace and Mark, I guess might even be better. And we're here today to talk about one of Grace's favorite ways to put this is food and mood.
I really think they are two equally important factors in in my management of acceptable level of the sugar in my body.
Yes, the glucose level.
Yes, the glucose level, the formal term.
Yeah, well, and you're right, the mood.
Yes,
I started to understand it a while back, but I really got to understand it over time. So when you were stressed, your glucose level will go higher
yes,
because your adrenal system would kick in and
right.
boost it. It's called boosting in the power sugars, right? The
It
very fast
happened.
burning
It
sugars.
happens so often that I was before my meeting with my friend, my sugar count was very acceptable, but maybe after some discussion of contentious issues, then I measure my sugar count again. It, not without any additional food, but a big
A
change.
big change, very high, right?
Right.
So that was interesting to learn. And so this is the mood we're talking about now, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Grace was trying to explain to me many times
Yes,
that the mood was as important
that's
as the
right.
food.
I have 40, almost 40 years of experience in problem in glucose
Dealing with
account.
glucose issues, right, and
Yes.
diabetes. So, um, as a coach, I have to deal with these issues because, and myself, my own health issues. So I had to deal with pain issues, which led to fight or flight, which is a very similar thing Grace has been going through with the mood
Mm-hmm.
and the activation of the fight or flight response and the very fast burning sugars that your pancreas kicks out. So we had the same issue. So over the last few months, Grace has just absolutely learned to control it, and it became evident last night.
I last few months I have been almost taking the condition of my sugar um, glucose situation. It's just like riding roller coaster. So and then with the help of Mark, he has provided me different types of food which will provide me different levels of glucose. I'm more observant about the effects, and I cannot overlook the contributing factors from the mood.
The mood. So I had to learn about the mood because I had the fight or flight response, and I know that it will kill me. I know that you can't be in that every day 24/7. So I know how to handle it. Do your best, never quit, have fun, my manifesto, to be honest with you. But last night, Grace and I had a very interesting conversation, and Grace was very intense. It was very intense. It was very excellent. And um, we were definitely kibitzing, to say the very least, but we were sort of over the edge a little bit, and Grace held her glucose level to 8.8, magic number, by 8.8 after an hour of intense debate.
Yes.
It was incredible. It was incredible to watch, and it's incredible to know now that what I've done for myself, you can now do for yourself. I didn't know if anybody else could just understand and do that, to be honest with you, Grace.
Yes.
But you did exactly what I do. And you maintained your cool through the whole thing.
Because I recognize that any high or contentious or angry feeling will affect my sugar. So in order to balance both important factors, I have to control my mood too.
You have, but you can still do the hard work, but you just do it by you control your emotional right response.
Try to manage two factors.
You're actually controlling your body with your mind, is what you're doing. It's very, very excellent. There's a fellow.
Again, I know the significant impact on my sugar.
You know,
I have to manage besides settling down with the issue with my friends, but I also have to look after my health.
There's a gentleman, Robert Sapolsky, who does some really excellent work, and he does a really short piece, a clip on the three brains. And the truth is once you understand them, it's hard work to understand them. Grace, you did it so fast. But once you understand them, they can talk to each other, and you can do exactly what Grace did. And even under the most intensive circumstances, you can maintain your body's reaction. Very incredible. I hope that is something that you just do for the rest of your life now.
I pick up and observe these contributing factors, the mood, on my sugar count, based on my extensive years, almost 40 years of my, can I call it fighting?
Yeah, you're a warrior, Grace, that's for sure.
Diabetic issue, and I like to share with all my friends or everybody interested in overcoming the challenges of diabetics, to share this information.
Well, you really are overcoming them, and you really had me last night. I saw how brilliant you really are, Grace, and you know, Grace is the one. Actually, Grace, you know what?
Yes. Now you see more in managing.
Can you check your glucose level for me? This is Grace's bag, by the way. She keeps all her goodies, her Dex4 candy, sometimes a little snack, her insulin, just her basic package. We just had lunch a few minutes ago, and now
it has gone up, just look, as you can see, gone up a little bit from 8, because the anxiety, the excitement.
Well, the lunch.
From our shooting this video.
The lunch and the excitement, yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. But you did just have lunch, and we are usually tending a little bit higher right now in the glucose levels while we maintain a baseline, right?
Because we're working on a challenging job now.
Well, we're working on creating the baseline, and actually today, now that you can control your mood, God bless, I wish we could all control our moods. Now that you control your mood, and now that you can control your glucose through your food, and you've been doing it for a while, you're doing it on your own and everything. Now,
with your help.
Now we're going to try to lower the glucose level and get it into a better range. And we're going to do that by actually cutting back on the quantity of food during mealtime. And we're going to do that by maybe introducing snacks between meals. So more feedings, smaller amounts. More snacks, smaller amounts. And maybe even skip a meal. Grace had some episodes in the morning, so I was worried. I wanted her to have extra snack at night. But I think now you're going to get rid of the nighttime snack or cut it in half. And you're going to, if you don't need to, I think you're just going to eat smaller portions and hopefully get your insulin down and start to exercise. Exercise is another video. But as far as the meals go, how do you feel about the food? How is your health, and how do you feel about what you're eating?
I must say, just based on just what you just said, we seem to have observed through our errors and experience, with your help, especially as a coach, my coach, and I learned more about the contributing factors affecting my sugar count, and therefore of my health. I felt that it seems dealing with these challenges is ongoing, and personally my need for a personal coach is inevitable.
Well, we hope you become autonomous though, Grace. We do want you to get to the point, and I think you're getting there. I think we're working on some other exciting projects besides this one. And I think that as long as you find some passion, something that you want to do, I hope you continually get a little better. Although last night, and I see, I don't want you to get too much better than that. Amazing, and you know it, right? Amazing, and you know it. So now we're going to try to flatten out the glucose. And we're going to do that with the meals. Like today, we had pizza for lunch, right?
Yes, which is a big treat.
It's a treat, right?
Yes.
But we got to have a thin crust, well done,
My
some
sugar
vegetables.
hasn't gone up that much.
No, it hasn't, and it's about we normally ride a little high right now.
Hopefully, those professional people who prepare the list of food not to eat can become shorter. So we can have more choices.
More balance and
Yes.
freedom to choose your own
Rather
food.
than extending the list of food that you cannot eat.
Well, once you learn how to eat, because don't forget, it's
It's a
very
mood too.
yes.
Don't
it's the
forget
mood.
the other contributing factor.
So it's very difficult for those professionals who can't be with you all the time to monitor you and help you, especially in the beginning, because
I wouldn't say monitor is the right word, to help me to understand.
well, that's the most important thing. Understanding, information exchange, and understanding number one, Grace.
Because I cannot have an advisor by my side for 24 hours a day.
Yeah, not quite 24, but it's a lot of hours. But that's okay because we are going to work on another project now, right? So that will give us something to fill our time and something to interest you. So when we eat, we got rid of rice.
Yes.
We got rid of starchy foods, basically. I know that some people say they want you to eat starchy foods, but we sort of got rid of the starchy foods.
But mind you, since you mentioned the word starch, I wonder whether I can use this opportunity to share my very important bad experience because of my misunderstanding on the starch.
Yes.
I almost lost my life because I have been one day just after supper, because I tried to cut the starch, cut my rice, because they don't eat too much rice, and I almost eliminate rice for that meal. Just eat the vegetable, and then within less than an hour, fortunately, my sugar gone down to so low I do not recognize it. I just could not open my eyes. Thanks to God that I have a great guardian angel, Mark, right in front of me, and telling me that, Grace, you're looking very pale. Can I call 911 for you? Have he not been that alert and knowledgeable in dealing with diabetic, I would not be here today.
You know what though, Grace? That was the second time. And when we called telehealth, they wanted us to call an ambulance, but we decided between ourselves that we knew how to deal with it. I really only called telehealth that night to get affirmation that what I was doing was going to be correct. And I couldn't really get the affirmation, and Grace was fading. And the reason is, and God bless you, Grace, because she brought up probably the most important part of this whole, well, the mood is half, But when it comes to the food, she brought up the most important part of the whole thing. When she got rid of her starches or her fast burning carbs, because you need fast burning carbs, you need medium length burning carbs, which are your raw vegetables basically, or your steamed vegetables, and then you need some proteins at the end so you can extend a long energy cycle after you take the insulin. We're going to try to cut the portions back and have a snack in between meals now, so we can actually lower the glucose level and lower our new bandwidth. But the important thing that Grace said was she took her starch out completely. So when she took the insulin, she dropped immediately because there were no fast burning starches. So our carbohydrates,
very important issue.
it's very important. You must include in every meal something that will burn quickly. So sometimes Grace will have one of our favorites, cottage cheese, and she'll put a half a teaspoon of no sugar added blueberry jam. Or she'll put a few berries. Berries are excellent. They're so fast, They compensate. But the blueberry jam a little bit, and the cottage cheese gives you the long burning fats. And we usually put a teaspoon of MCT oil in, which will help burn the fats longer over a longer period of time. And she will often use that, believe it or not, as vegetable dip. So she gets to have her cauliflower, her broccoli, her carrots, and the other thing that's in the tray, usually there's 4 of them. She eats them regularly with every meal, basically. Says she's a rabbit now. She loves the carrots so much, which are good for the eyes. But she'll use that as a dip. So she gets everything. That's a really, really good meal. Or sometimes Grace will have oatmeal, right, Grace? And you're making your own oatmeal now, and you know how to do it and everything, right?
Yeah, good. Delicious.
It's delicious, right?
Besides effective.
If I put you on the spot, do you think you can remember most of what goes into your oatmeal?
I was thinking that maybe you can this audience, anybody interested, to get information, in paper from you.
Oh, they can contact me for recipes. She already told me I should be copyrighting some of my recipes.
Yes.
But you know what? There's a lot of recipes online. For diabetics, and you can cook some fantastic meals. We have some very good staples that we use. So with the oatmeal is very, very excellent. You get your carbohydrates, you get your proteins, you get roughage, I guess. You get everything there basically, but you don't get fast burning carbs. So we often put berries, or sometimes half a teaspoon, but I don't think we put jam in that for a long time. I don't think so. I think sometimes berries, usually
only if you don't have enough of those, you try to have the jam
on the side if necessary.
It's not necessary.
That's right. And see, look at how there's no problem anymore.
We're simple but effective.
Right.
That's why I would like to promote it. Encourage people using it.
And she'll
simple.
put a nag in it,
It's
right?
very simple.
A little almond milk, and it's a delicious meal that will give you energy for a long time.
And there's no medication involved.
No medication involved,
so
right?
It's safe then.
Just your insulin that you have to take when you eat a meal.
That is regardless, right?
Yes.
It's taken regardless.
Yes. So, and we made a couple of soups. Soups are quite excellent,
yes,
right? Because you get your vegetables in there. If you put a couple little pieces of meat in there, you can have some protein. You could use tofu, I guess, if you want.
It's convenient and inexpensive.
It is definitely. All of the meals we're talking about are convenient and inexpensive, basically. And then we eat fish, and sometimes we eat cheeseburgers. They're okay too, right? We can basically eat
Pizza.
and pizza. We had delicious pizza today. That's for sure. Let's check your glucose level one more time, Grace.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. And flat. We nailed it.
Yeah.
We nailed it. 9.2 and flat after lunch, about 40
The
minutes.
arrow is flat.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Grace. Okay, so Grace has been managing her own food, managing her own insulin, taking me on and challenging conversations, and pushing the ball forward, setting goals for yourself, such as now you want to set goals for me, help me with my goals, but you also want to get involved with the community as we're doing here. And
I thank you. I want to thank you for, despite of my extensive, almost 40 years of struggling, at least you have taken me to a plateau where I can enjoy life as much as food and health, and good health.
well, that's excellent, Grace. That's really, 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 really excellent. And
I want everybody to be able to share the good luck I have
from your experiences.
based on your guidance.
From
Your
our
guidance.
experiences, right? We're learning together. Yeah, it's been very, very excellent, Grace.
Because your guidance is so simple to follow.
Well, we're definitely doing things simply, and we are getting more help every time. And one of your medical staff helped us out yesterday, explaining the differences between the two insulins, right? And we discussed your nighttime meal and eliminating that. And we also talked about, now that spring is here, we're going to, in the next week or two, start to add a little bit of exercise slowly, so as not to cause any problems, and definitely not in the first 2 hours after taking the insulin. Grace's medical staff has explained to us that can cause the insulin to burn your energy more rapidly, and create a low glycemic level, which we've experienced already, and that's absolutely the worst thing that can happen. So please
All
use
your
caution.
suggestions are not inventing something new items for me, new tasks to do or observe, but also tell me what to watch out to make it more effective.
Well, I've learned the hard way. We got to be very cautious, and we have
Thank you
to
for sharing with us.
set the base and move in small incremental levels, right, Grace?
More effective.
More
Just a
effective,
little
right?
bit, it helps a lot.
Yes, it helps a lot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Come. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.